You would never suspect that taking your dog for a walk would result in you losing your life. Unfortunately, that's exactly what happened to the woman in this photo here, and her name was Katie Janis. And it's been over 3 years since this tragic incident happened, and to this date, police have very little clues or ideas as to what happened that night. So the night in question was July 28, 2021, when Katie decided to take her dog Bowie out for a walk. And she was also living with her fiance Emma at the time of the incident. So after dinner, Katie decided she was going to take their dog out for a quick walk right after dinner at a nearby park. But after a significant amount of time had gone by, Emma started to get worried. After all, she said she was just going to go for a quick walk and she should have been back by now. Using their iPhone tracker, Emma looked up their location and decided to go look for them herself. And tragically, she was the one that ended up finding the deceased bodies of both Katie and Bowie at the entrance of a nearby park. And what's even more disturbing is that the way this incident took place was very aggressive and almost seemed to be some sort of personal attack on Katie. After her autopsy was done, it was determined that she had suffered over 50 stab wounds, and most of them had been throughout her upper torso, including her face and neck area, with 15 of those wounds being targeted directly towards her head. But there was even something more disturbing discovered during the autopsy. On her torso, it was discovered that the letters FAT had been carved into her flesh using a sharp object. Now, obviously, the first thing authorities did was look at security cameras in the area, and the only clue they discovered was this one here. It was a street camera that captured Katie and their dog walking towards the park. Now, there were cameras installed in the park where they were going that night, and they would have been captured on film, except these cameras were not working at the time, which was obviously incredibly frustrating because this could have easily told us exactly what happened to Katie and Bowie that night. Now, there is one theory going around that whoever did this to Katie and Bowie was someone that they both knew. And this theory comes from the fact that there were no defensive wounds on either person, including the dog, which made authorities think that the dog was familiar with this person and didn't really have a need to attack. But this theory is also questioned because authorities were able to determine that Bowie was the one that had been unalived first, meaning that he could not have protected Katie if she had been attacked. The other theory goes in the complete opposite direction, suggesting that this was someone neither of them knew. And it could have very likely been someone that was looking for a quote-unquote thrill kill. But oddly enough, even though this whole situation took place in a very busy park in the middle of Atlanta, there were zero witnesses that heard or saw anything that evening. If you know anything about what happened to Katie or Bowie that night, contact the Atlanta Police Department.